Okay, go ahead.
Hello again, Marhaba. This is Dr. Jack Dempsey, American writer and historian living in Crete these days. And with me is Muhammad Jihad Ismael, a Palestinian writer and historian living in the suburb Deir el-Balah in the Gaza territory of Palestine. Today is Friday, August 5th, 2022. And as always, as we begin our discussions, which we continue to try to keep the discussion about Palestinian situation alive in the world of low fortunes right now, we ask that our listeners simply go out of your way for a moment to write an email or a letter or make a telephone call to your governmental representatives, because the Palestinians' best hope for change, for liberty, for equality on their own land is the changing of other outside governments' policies, which for too long have supported the very injustice that we're looking at called apartheid. So thank you for watching, and hello again to my friend and brother, Muhammad. How are you?
Hello, brother. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I hope we are going to make a good video for our friends and followers.
Muhammad, let me explain something quickly. Today, again, is Friday, August 5th. Yesterday, the Israeli authorities arrested two activists, members of the Islamic Jihad movement, and this happened in the West Bank territories. And since then, they have been flooding military forces, tanks, missile launchers, artillery, aircraft, ground troops right around the Gaza border, the high wire trimmed fence that separates Gaza from the entire world. They say they are expecting attacks because of the arrest of the two activists. But what has happened since is that there have been no attacks from Gaza, according to my friend Mohammed here. Instead, the Israelis have begun using F 16s, F 35s, and other munitions to shell and bomb areas of Gaza that are shaking Mohammed's house as we speak. So, Mohammed, I turn it over to you. Anything you'd like to report today from the situation in Gaza, which has rarely been worse. We've seen many times in many of our talks, the conditions there are horrific. No one in the living world would tolerate them for a minute. But now these attacks are going on for apparently no reason, although we know what the reason is. Please tell us how you're doing, you and your family, and anything you want to tell us about the situation.
Unfortunately, the situation is bad here in Gaza. Mostly, the war come suddenly, come without any introduction. For instance, my house, we are not ready for a new war. Our kitchen is not ready. We haven't enough food. We haven't enough milk for the children. We haven't enough medicine for my old parents. We haven't enough pure water or good water for drinking. Here we used to buy water every week because we cannot have a healthy water supply from the PEPs. So you have to buy bottles of pure water. Unfortunately, the majority of Gaza natural water is poisoned, is polluted, so it's not valid for drinking. For me
And
as Muhammad, I am not ready. I am not ready for this war. Yes.
I was just going to add that since our last discussion, Mohammed, you were mentioning last time, on top of all the difficulties you mentioned, there has been a great increase in the number of people committing suicide in Gaza because they just can't make their lives work or see any hope for the future. And there's also been a very strong new wave of COVID going through the Palestinian community in the Gaza territory, which is enclosed on itself almost without health care. So tell us about the attacks today. They are coming without any attacks from the Gaza militants, and they are dropping munitions near your home. And what else? Tell us what is happening. You said
Yes,
you
this
said you
time,
know the sound. You know the sound of the F-16 since you were a boy. Tell me what you first saw and what it's been going on.
yes, yes. First of all, let me say that this time, especially this time, we hadn't an attack was launched from Gaza. This time, Israel made this attack suddenly, and they assassinated the chief leader of Islamic Jihad. They assassinated him while he was in his apartment in a building in the center area of Gaza city. After that, they used to launch too many air raids. One or two of them was in my surrounding here in Bala, in Deir al-Balah. Of course, this time the voice is different because since my childhood, I am familiar with the F-15 and F-16 jets sound. But this time, I listen more horrible sound. It makes like roaring in the sky, and even the missiles are more effective, more destructive. That's why I believe this time they are using the F-35, not the F-16. As I told you, I believe that the international community should interfere to ban Israel from using this sort of warplanes in a civilian place crowded with people like Gaza. Here in Gaza, we have the highest population density in the war. So can you imagine how they use the F-35 in in uh, in a place like Gaza?
And Mohammed,
This is
were you
amazing.
able to look outside? Were you able to see the aircraft? Were you able to see the explosions? Are they dropping bombs or using drones that are dropped from the aircraft? What, if anything, were you able to see?
Yeah, this time, while I am talking to you and to our followers, I listen several drones in the sky, in our sky. If you want to ask me about the main raid, yes, after I listened the explosion, I used to look through my window and I saw a mountain of smoke, black smoke
Mhm.
in the place that was targeted by the missile. The impact was like an earthquake. My house, my walls used to shake exactly like that if you have an earthquake.
An earthquake, yes. And we should point out, Mohammed, that your wavelength or your bandwidth from Gaza, the internet services such as they are there, is especially low right now. And you have heard that the Israelis are hoping to cut both the internet from Gaza and your gas and or power. Is that right?
Yes. I listened by radio this afternoon. I listened by radio that Israel threatens to cut everything, to cut electricity, to cut fuel, to cut internet, to cut everything. And this morning, we had many trucks came to the checkpoint, and Israel used to stop them. So even the very rare trucks that we have daily this day, Israel used to stop them. So
You
today
mean
we have
trucks?
no trucks.
You're talking about trucks full of supplies, food,
Exactly.
supplies to support human life. The only source of these supplies and foods comes with the trucks, and these are being interrupted. Mohammed, for the sake of people listening who might not believe all this, I want to ask you one thing once again. There has been, if you know, there has been no attack from Hamas or from Islamic Jihad from Gaza against Israel. Is that correct? They have not sent any rockets or bombs or anything else. Have they not attacked Israel first? Do you know this?
Uh, yeah. According to my knowledge, every day around the o'clock, I used to follow the updates. I used to listen to the news. According to my knowledge, I didn't listen any news about something like that. We hadn't any rocket was launched from Gaza. This time, Israel made this attack suddenly, just
Without warning. They did not warn you.
to
They did not tell you first, you
yes,
mean?
yes, and I have a proof on my belief. They assassinated the Islamic Jihad leader at his apartment. So he was having his dinner with his family, his children, his wife, and they didn't target him inside a military base or inside a tunnel under the ground. So he was attacked suddenly.
And
If
it's
uh, if
likely,
Gaza used to attack Israel, if
and it,
if Gaza or Islamic Jihad attacked Israel with rockets, I think by logic his place should be inside the tunnel to have a shelter, not to be not to be available with the family and to have the dinner with them. Yeah.
so it is likely, you believe, that this man's family were also killed with him.
Uh, before I appear with you on this video, uh, I haven't clear image. Uh,
Got any
I
news?
haven't clear image. Yes. They mentioned that the leader was assassinated, but I don't know what happened to his family. Maybe after some time, if
Hmm.
we go to the news, maybe we can find
Yeah,
the result. Maybe
I'm
maybe
sure
they can.
information will come out. So are the attacks, the bombings still continuing, or did they stop after they killed the leader of Islamic Jihad in Gaza?
I think the attacks are
Hmm.
continuing because now in this time I am listening the jets. They are
Yes,
roaring, making high
yes.
voice. Maybe, maybe you cannot listen, but if they come closer and closer to my area, maybe you can listen.
I have not heard anything so far, but in one of our conversations, maybe a year ago, at the last May, I think it was, we could hear the explosions and the aircraft and the artillery from this discussion of ours going on outside your house. I think it's worth pointing out that this week also the family of the assassinated or murdered journalist from Palestine, Shireen Abu Akleh, the family of that great journalist woman came to Washington, D.C., trying to see President Biden to see if they could beg him to produce some kind of justice or fair investigation of her murder. They were only able to meet with Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, and he told them You have no hope of success, but you should keep trying. He said, you have no hope of success to find justice for her, but you should keep trying. This we must think about in the context of they're arresting activists in the West Bank and then attacking Gaza for no apparent reason, except that they expect to be hurt. They expect to be attacked, but they have not been attacked. I ask you again, that is correct, right? As far as you know, they have not been attacked.
Yes, 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 of course, of course, of course. I agree with you. I think we have to wait until the night to see what will happen, to see if Gaza militants will make some response or not. I think we have to wait to see what will happen. You know, the favorite time for Gaza militant to make attacks is the night, because they used to work under the curtain of darkness.
Yes.
So we
Yes.
have to wait. We have to wait and see. I hope this tension will not be developed and will not be a war, because we are tired. We are destroyed. People have food in their houses. They cannot be imprisoned inside their homes for some weeks. The situation is very, very bad. And
Well,
you know very well, I told you last time about the rate of suicide in Gaza. The rate of suicide
yes.
became very, very horrible, and became something unbelievable.
Yes, and now you might be able to say, I think, or argue that it may be that there's going to be an even larger fight again between Palestinians and Israel, because the arrests of those two activists happened in the West Bank, but these attacks are happening in Gaza. And so both the West Bank and Gaza have a reason to come together and to, I don't know, make some strikes against Israel or make a more open intifada again. But you say the people of Gaza are believably very weary, tired, broken, poor. They don't want war, but do you think it's possible that there will be more fighting now? Will the people of Gaza, will the people of Gaza ask for their soldiers to go and fight?
Yes, yes. As I told you, people of Gaza are very, very tired. They are not ready for a new war. They are not ready for a new war, because their situation is very, very bad. Their financial situation is very bad. As I told you, let me tell you frankly, maybe the biggest majority of Gaza people, they haven't more than one meal inside their kitchen. So here in Gaza, most of the poor family are searching for the new meal day by day. So
Yes.
I haven't extra food. I haven't extra meals to be frozen in the refrigerator. There is nothing to be frozen. So only you have to own only one meal. So after you eat this meal, you and your children, you start the second day to search for the other meal. You know. So if you want to speak about war, you have to speak about an isolation for these people. They will be like prisoners inside their houses. They are banned from going outside the house, maybe for 2, 3, 4 weeks. So what they are going to eat? Are they going to eat the leaves of the trees? I don't know.
So we're looking at a policy that in one of our earlier discussions here, we quoted an Israeli academic who helped to craft the policy from Israel's government about Gaza. And he said, we know we are going to have to kill them and kill them and kill them every day, because they are going to sit inside Gaza and they are going to be hungry until they are starving. They are going to have no medicines. They are going to have no hope. And they are going to be bombed and shelled and strafed very often. They are going to begin to die. And so the suicide rate increases. This is everything you've just described, Muhammad, is like a perfect example of Israel's deliberate plan. This is what they want the situation to be, because they are in control, no?
Yes, I agree with you, brother. I think we cannot compare between the situation of Israel and our situation as Gazans. If we have to speak about a coming war, just try to make a little comparison regarding to the windows, regarding to the links who lead you to the outside world. Has too many airports, has too many ports on the Red Sea, on the Mediterranean. They are open country. They can bring their food, their weapons. They can travel easily. But on the other side, you speak about Gaza, a very little piece of land, 2.5 million people. They have no ports, no airports. Also, they have no ground paths to travel by them or to move by them.
Yes.
You know, we have only the very few amount of trucks. They are coming every day to Gaza, you know, with very few amounts of food and medicine. So if we have new war, I think people this time not survive. Not they will not survive, not from the Israeli missiles, but from famine or from hunger.
Yes. Well, Muhammad, we've talked many times about the limits of supplies that are allowed into Gaza by Israel deliberately. It's maybe 200 trucks per day, maybe 250 trucks per day on a good day. If you do the mathematics, that means that about 12,000 people must have all their needs met for every truck. 12,000 people from one truck of supplies. It's not possible. So the starvation and the bombing and the despair, as all this comes down on you, Muhammad, I have to only say that to keep our program brief this time, we will keep in contact. And as the situation changes and develops, we will do another report. Okay?
Okay, brother, I am ready, and I will be following up with you what will happen. I will tell you what will happen this night, and in the coming days, I am ready day by day to give you a report about the situation and the updates.
Okay, we will do that. I thank you once again for all the different discussions we've had, and especially for today, for your courage to sit in such a vulnerable place and share with us what you know. As always, Muhammad, we leave our audience by saying thank you for listening. Please, again, go out of your way for 5 minutes, telephone call, email, a letter to your government representatives who have more power than anyone, including the Palestinians, to change their situation toward equality, peace, and coexistence with Israel. Muhammad, thank you very much.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for you and for all of our friends. Thank you so much.